I use Zelle Pay to pay a lot of different things, to pay my rent, to pay my sister, my friends. I used them to pay a fee for a dog, which I never received. And so the one dissatisfaction I have is that Zelle does not help you when you do have a problem with a vendor or a person. There is no way for you to get that money returned. There's no stop payment allowed. And they're unresponsive. More than anything, they were unresponsive. They didn't email me back. They didn't call me back. It was, that was disappointing. But overall, I'm happy with Zelle. So I have to say, I really do like Zelle Pay. I really do like it because I pay my rent that way. I pay my sister that way. I actually pay my son a lot of times. I actually like it very much. It's very quick and easy to use. The problem that I have is that unlike using a credit card where you can refute a charge, or if something went wrong with the charge that you bona fide did, if something went wrong with that particular business transaction, there is no repercussion. You cannot say, hold it. Even with the check, you can do a stop payment, but with Zelle, you cannot get your money returned. So what happened in my case, I paid $500 to get a dog from Florida, flown up to me to Brooklyn, New York. I paid $500 and the dog never came. Not only did the dog never come, but the woman kept asking me for more money, which is a different story. But the bottom line is I realized very quickly that she was a scammer, that she had scammed me of the $500. I never got the dog. I never got anything. And I'm out the $500. There's no way I can reach her now. She won't, return my calls, nothing. It just went by her name. Her name was Debbie Henderson, and she was on Facebook. So it's HENDERSON, Debbie, DEBBIE. She told me it was going to cost $480 and she was going to include a crate and some food. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give you $500 because that'll cover the crate and the food. And she said, thank you. And so I sent her the $500. So I'm the one that made it $500. Originally it was $480, but I figured I would do a nice gesture and give her the additional $20 for the food and whatever. But then she contacted me back again on Facebook and said, I need another $350 for vaccines. I said, what kind of vaccines are you talking about? She said, COVID. I said, no. I'm going to have the dog and I will take the dog to my own vet and have my vet do the vaccine. Plus it costs much less than $350, I told her, not knowing how much it was going to cost. So the next morning I went to the vet on the corner and asked them how much a vaccine for COVID would cost for a dog. And the vet told me there is no vaccine for dogs at this time for COVID. So that's when I really knew I was dealing with a scammer, because here she was trying to get $350 for me for a COVID vaccine when there doesn't even exist. I had gotten a phone call from someone that said, I've been contracted to transport your dog from Florida to JFK and confirming your address. And I said, okay. And they said, I'm going to send you the tracking information. So they sent me the tracking information. And then he called back and said, in order for us to get the dog to you alive, you're going to have to pay an additional $1,500 for insurance. I said, you know what? This is BS. Click. And so I hung up. So whoever that other person was, so this woman, Debbie, is involved then with this other, I imagine she's involved because how else would this guy have gotten my information? I would have to say the one thing that I'm upset about with Zelle is that there's no way to do a stop payment or a reversal of payment. I will continue to use Zelle Pay, but what I won't do is any kind of business with someone that I really haven't completely 100%, maybe 200% vetted out. Like if I did a little bit more research about this woman and her dog business, I wouldn't have bought the dog from her, or I wouldn't have, let's put it this way. I didn't even buy the dog. I just paid her the money, because when you buy a dog or a product, you get the item. So I'd have to say that I would still continue to use Zelle. I actually am happy with Zelle, except for that one piece, except for that one aspect of it.